What's up guys, welcome to Tech Predator. Apple's next product launch is just days away. Also, the company withholds new employee benefits from its unionized retail store, but that didn't stop a big labor win at another location. Apple Card users will get Goldman Sachs savings accounts, Intel plans major layoffs, and Apple Watch Ultra bands remain hard to find. Last week in Power On. Apple's upcoming USB Type-C transition is just a stopgap measure before its wireless future. Apple Incorporated's next iPad Pro is arriving in a matter of days. The company is set to announce new 11-inch and 12.9-inch versions of the device, codenamed J617 and J620, that include the same M2 processor found in the latest MacBook Air. It's the first update to the company's Pro tablet line in a year and a half, and the M2 chip is the biggest change. The processor will offer a nearly 20% speed boost, which isn't as large a jump as the M1 did last year, but nothing to scoff at. The new iPads will look similar to the Pro model from last year, bringing the same flat-edge design into its fourth year. In contrast, the original iPad Pro design from 2015 only lasted 3 years. But the current look is slicker and aligns with the design of Apple's other iPads and the iPhone, so it makes sense to stick with it for now. Apple is also working on a new entry-level tablet with a USB Type-C port and a similar design to the iPad Pro, bringing that look to yet another device. When it arrives, this new low-end iPad will be the most significant update to that line in several years and mark a bit of a strategy shift. The entry-level product typically only gets annual processor upgrades. On the software side, Apple is planning to release iPadOS 16.1, the first iPad version of iOS 16, around the week of October 24. Development is set to be finished the prior week if all goes to plan. Apple's quarterly earnings call takes place on October 27, and the company has typically launched new products in the days or weeks ahead of that report. Bloomberg said in his newsletter that, "I'm told that the new iPad software update and the first version of macOS Ventura add support for the latest iPad Pro models and the next versions of the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro. The high-end laptops will get the first M2 Pro and M2 Max chips, more powerful versions of the standard M2. Changes to the laptops will be otherwise minimal. While the new MacBook Pros are on track to launch in the near future, I wouldn't expect them to be released alongside the iPad Pro. The company has historically launched new Macs in November, as was the case in 2019 with the initial 16-inch MacBook Pro, and in 2020 with the first Apple Silicon-based MacBook Pro, MacBook Air and Mac Mini. Speaking of new products, Apple is working on an M2 version of the Mac Mini, which will be the first update to the company's smallest Mac in 2 years. Also in the works, an Apple TV with an A14 chip and 4GB of memory. That's an upgrade from the A12 chip and 3GB. Apple has traditionally ushered in its late full iPad and Mac updates with splashy events, but this year's rollout will be more subdued. Apple will launch the products on its website without the kind of gathering we saw in September with the iPhone 14's debut. Bloomberg believed that as Apple has eschewed another event because of the fairly ordinary nature of the announcements. It's a slew of updates that amount to spec bumps or seen before designs. Another factor. Apple is probably saving its marketing energy for the Reality Pro headset debut next year. One key part of the next iPad Pro, of course, will be Stage Manager, the company's new and controversial multitasking interface. I still believe that software is disjointed and buggy, but I have no reason to believe Apple will pull it from iPadOS 16.1 and not include it with new models out of the box. Apple has attempted to placate Stage Manager critics by deploying the feature to non-M1 iPads in a reversal and delaying the buggy external monitor integration until later in 2022. There have also been internal discussions about describing the feature as a beta test, but it's already optional, so I don't think that would accomplish much. Beyond this new iPad Pro, the company is looking to eventually push its tablet deeper into the home, with a plan to turn the device into a smart hub and speaker. The approach would be similar to what Google is doing with its upcoming Pixel tablet. When Google first showcased that product in May, it appeared to be an old-school tablet with run-of-the-mill Android features. But earlier this month, the company disclosed it would also sell a new accessory that lets you dock the Pixel tablet and use it like a smart display and home control device. Bloomberg said in his newsletter that he is told that Apple is working to bring similar functionality to the iPad as soon as 2023. Bloomberg reported last year that Apple is exploring a standalone device that combines an iPad with a speaker hub. The idea is to offer something that users can place on a kitchen counter, in the living room or on their nightstand. But Apple also has worked on an iPad docking accessory that it could sell separately and would accomplish much of the same thing. Regardless of its ultimate approach, the move would mark one of Apple's most significant pushes into smart home devices, expanding on its still small foothold in set-top boxes and speakers. It already offers the Apple TV and HomePod, but nothing that rivals the Echo Show from Amazon.com or Google's latest efforts. Apple also continues to work on an updated version of the HomePod that would be larger than the product's mini version and a combined Apple TV and smart speaker device with a camera for FaceTime and other functions. Until those are ready, though, the 12-year-old iPad could be the company's best bet in making some noise in the smart home space. The new products will put a bow on a fairly significant year for Apple, which released the Apple Watch Ultra, iPhone 14 Pro, Mac Studio and new iPhone SE in 2022. But I think next year will even bigger, with a mixed reality headset, larger MacBook Air, iPhone changes and more home devices all on the way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching and goodbye.